Here's the deal. I'm about to read the update for you. Raid Shadow Legends is changing the clan versus clan system, and it's actually the biggest change that we've probably ever seen in the game in terms of like actually changing the system. They're drastically changing the system. I'm going to break it down for you. I want to apologize for my voice. I'm extremely sick, but I'm still trying to make content for you. If you like that dedication and grind, I've been working a lot on the channel. Please do subscribe. With that being said, thank you for your time. Let's get into the video. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there has been some massive changes in CVC, and yes, I am sick. I apologize. I should be getting better as soon as possible, but there's not too much I can do about it. So I have not read these changes in CVC. I've been seeing lots of videos going out on it. I actually was just playing Raid all day yesterday because I got the frog guy out of my post and I was leveling him. So I'm kind of curious what's going on. That being said, I don't really have the energy to do a whole lot of yelling because of my sickness, but I'm going to give you guys the best breakdown I possibly can and give you my opinion on it. Here's it. Some people think this is better for free-to-play. Some people think it's not as good for free-to-play. And what I can tell you right now is I've been playing a lot of free-to-play. I mean, here it is in my blue stacks right there. And I can tell you for a fact I've used all of my quest coins or whatever on experience so far. So that's been my experience. I've used 700 coins. So... and of course, I'm free to play. So let's get going. Hello, Raiders. Back again with the regular Raid Digest. Issue is focused on one feature. Buckle up and let's go straight into changes, okay? I'd like to say that any other tournament in the game, balances of reward will be changing. Okay, so they're changing the rewards. While you saw some minor changes during previous CVCs from the start, shifts might be more drastic. Okay, so they're preparing us to get analyzed. Hopefully I have your attention by now. Let's see what changes away in the next CVC. Okay, let's see. So league distribution. Before we launched the first one, we decided, I might paraphrase just a little bit to try to save me some breath, but nothing that matters. Decided on percentage of participants for 2 to 6 tiers based on the numbers of competitive clans at the moment in the game. But now the clan activity has grown, stronger competitors are fighting for the top rewards, top milestones, but movements between leagues became harder than intentionally intended. Okay, to give you an idea of the well pod ourselves, we are only in tier 1 because we don't really well out anymore, but yet we still have some people that have lots of books, etc. We're still tier 1. Seeing this tendency, we decided to double the number of clans into the 6 CVC tiers to enable more movement between them, allow more clans to get a deserved place in the tournament. So far, so good. I mean, giving up the higher ranks means we'll get more rewards, but if they rebalance the rewards, then what's the point? So let's see here. Clan versus clan tournament activities rebalance. Start the one with shards. We came to the decision to increase the number of points gained in activities around hero acquisition. Oh, okay, so shards are the most crucial and valuable resource in the game. I mean, I tend to agree other than books. I mean, books are better because one shard can turn into a character that requires 16 legendary books. So let's be real. So we think increasing its point value for the tournament is appropriate. For example, in previous tournaments for obtaining epic champions, you would get 100 points. Now the number of points raised to 1,000. Wait, that's 10 times. That's 10 times the points. So it goes from 100 to 1,000, okay. Changes will already be in play in the next tournament, so be ready. Okay, there's something wrong with this change. It has to do with basically the 2x events, but before we get into that, let's continue and let's see if there's a reason. Next up is dungeon campaign point rebalancing. Starting with the upcoming tournament, activities will have double or more tournament points. Beat stages 20, 24, Dragon Slayer from 40 to 100. I like this. Doing more activities, getting more points for the basic activities, especially stuff like Dragon Slayer where you're just farming gear, that's good. Some activities need an obvious boost. Some were overvalued in tournaments. Due to point hunting, might even slow a player's progression. So the balance out changes and restore point value of the activity. Sorry, I'm struggling with breath. There will be decreases in point value for some of them. So I'm assuming they're talking about point value for books here. I mean, that was the major problem. Stage 21 Faction Wars will now give 1,000 points to the tournament. It has been 2,000. I didn't see any problem with this. This was already difficult to do, and you ran it, and once you were an in-game player, you were able to generate 2,000 points. For me, this wasn't the biggest problem. Other stages of the Faction Wars remain unchanged. Okay. Grey Hall points are undergoing a rebalance. Affinity bonus upgrades from 6 and higher will bring less points. That is interesting to me. I don't see too many people holding their Grey Hall rewards for CVC. I guess if you're really looking for the most elite end of it, then that could be it. You know what it is? That's it. That's all the changes they have here. The number of points from 1 to 5 remains the same. But basically, you know what this is? The only real thing that happened here was they 10 times the shard points and made the points for the standard grinding slightly higher, cut the points for faction wars, and cut the points for Great Hall. And they said they're doing it so that way people don't have to worry about their progression. I don't see that as the fact. The reason being is because having to save shards is worse for your progression than just saving a Grey Hall bonus. I mean, saving the Grey Hall bonus isn't the biggest of deal, especially when it's beyond level 5. Maybe if you're doing some of the progression missions for Arbiter, I can understand, but there's not that many Grey Hall ones, and they take a while to get the things anyway. I guess other people who are hoarding Grey Hall points, feel free. I mean, I'm hoarding on my free-to-play right now, but not for the reasons stated here. It's for the reasons of progress missions that they've added into the game. So that one seems a little weird to me. I don't really have problems with it. It just doesn't quite seem for the reason they're stating. And then the Faction Wars 21 getting nerfed in terms of points is interesting to me. The reason for this is I think if they're trying to nerf other points and then you 10 times the point of shards, it would seem to stand to logic that they're trying to have more shards be open during the tournament. I mean, if it's 10 times more points, they're probably hoping to have 10 times as many shards open during the tournaments. That would seem to be basic logic. And the reasoning behind that would maybe be so the 2x isn't... I mean, really, this just seems like a reverse dupe legendary duplicate system or something, you know? Like... They say, for example, in the previous tournaments, epic champions are 100, but how about legendaries? Legendaries were 500, so they're 5,000 now. And rares are 10 times too. So I don't think I like that. I think that seems actually more well-friendly than free-to-play friendly, personally. I mean, that's just kind of what I'm seeing here. But, I mean, maybe they're thinking that it balances out because we've doubled the number of clans, but I don't see the doubling of number of clans mattering for free-to-play people, because free-to-play people or in free-to-play clans are still going to be in the bottom. Like, there's not enough free-to-play clans that they're spilling over and they're all in tier 1 and there's some in tier 2. Like, the free-to-play clans themselves are going to stay in tier 1. Their rewards aren't going to get better as free-to-play. So the only argument we would really have to make here that this is a better upgrade is if, because of the addition of the dungeons and campaign point rebalancing, and the fact that the shards got more points, that the free-to-play people would be able to do more points to the point of competing in tier 2, which would ideally be lower points required due to the double number of clans. I think that's the logic here. I don't see that happening since... probably the higher tier free-to-play clans were using faction wars, I would imagine, as a way, and they just cut that points in half, and that was 1,000. And cutting the Grey Hall points is going to hurt free-to-play players too. This will help beating the dungeon layers, you know, from 40 to 100. So they did actually double that. That's going to help. In terms of the actual shards, though, that seems kind of scary. I mean, if the problem was books already, and the previous problem we had was that books were the most expensive aspect of the game. Now they've made the second most expensive aspect of the game the second most important part of the tournament. So it doesn't really stand to logic to me that if they think the clan versus clan system needed to be rebalanced, and the biggest issue of this was that the pay-to-win aspect of books being so pay-to-win, closing out the tiers of the higher tiers to only the pay-to-win people. So they say they want to open it up by doubling it to more people, but then picking, not only not addressing the book situation, but then picking shards and 10 timesing the point of shards in order to increase the well versus well factor of this does not at all seem to me to be the logic of better for free to play or better for the average clan. It actually seems just better for the average well. That's kind of what I'm seeing here, since wells are going to book and open characters the most. And that's sort of what's got improved the most. So that's my personal opinion on this. Let me know what your opinion on this is. Personally, I guess we'll have to see on August 24th when this comes out. I would kind of like to see if they rebalanced any rewards because they say there's quite a lot of balance things for convenience performing a number of charts with all point rebalances, etc. So this might not be the full bit of information here. And to be honest, they could actually be adjusting some of the rewards. So on the 24th, we're going to have to see. Yeah, shifts might be quite more drastic in the future. See, that's what I'm getting worried about. If 10 times the points as shards isn't drastic, I mean, they say shifts might be more drastic in the future, but they make the points for character acquisition 10 times the original without addressing the book system. How will that not possibly make this well versus well even more so?